Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. So you must have watched the number one aspect of this practical 2022 Waec practical. So if you have watched that, this is number 3, and of which number 2 is set to follow. But please pay maximum attention to this. Remember, these are likely questions that will come out based on the instruction from Waec. It's not exact question, and that's why you're not meant to know whatever I'm teaching you right now, but you should understand it. When you understand it, no matter how they want to twist the question, you will be able to do your exam successfully. Now, this is electricity, it's always number 3 in your exam question. And I'm going to be showing you how to interpret circuits and how to do what? Set it up by yourself. Then you'll be able to take your readings. Is that taken now? Now, you must have watched the video I dropped on what you need to know about 2022 practical before taking it. If you have not watched the video, I urge you do that. There, I made mention of the whole of the precaution on number 1, number 2, and number 3. The precaution that you need to take. So I'll not be repeating that in any of this lecture. So please go back to that and check. And don't forget to support the project of the mini laboratory that we have been shouting since 2020. Till now, we only have 500 naira. It's bad. Okay? So the school that I have to write to, that give me the privilege to come and have the number 1 question done, and also number 3 and number 2 by God's grace, they need to go and purchase the apparatus. And I can tell you, I was the one that even went to go and get it. This is a new apparatus. They have to get 3 of this. So each one costs 7,500 naira. So I think I got it for 7,000 each. So if we have this, the laboratory is getting set gradually. And her meter, thank God they have it before, it's now 12,000 naira. And as at 2020 that we are shouting it, it's just 4,000 naira. So now it's 12,000 naira. So please just assist the project, and we get everything done with ease. If you do it, no, I won't say it's not going to be of benefit to me. Of course it will, but it is for your own good. Anybody that can assist, 500 is not something too much. You can also assist with whatever you have. Please, I think this will be the last time I'm going to be asking for this assistance on this page, because it's not my person. So, without any further ado, let's commence the class. We are to carry out this experiment with a potentiometer, but I want you to understand that we have 2 types of potentiometer. This is a potentiometer with just 2 terminals. Can you see? So this particular one is having just 2 terminals, and we have the one that has approximately 8 terminals, which is this particular one that I'll be using with you. Whichever one that your school owns, they are still going to give you the same results. Is that taken now? So let me take this one off the stage, and then we can continue to interpret this particular question. Before I start reading the question, I would like to make mention of what we are given to carry out the experiment. We have what? The potentiometer, and this is it here. We have the connecting wires. I think I said that in 2020. If you watch my electric circuit video, I tell you that any line that you see in a circuit diagram, that line simply represents what? Wire. What type of wire? Connecting wires. So if examiner wants to confuse you, they can call it what? Lead wires. Whichever one, so don't panic. They are still saying what? The same thing, but in different language. Awesome. So here is battery that we refer to as what? Cell. The long pole of the cell is the positive pole, and this is what? Negative pole. But if you see these 2 lines that they are of equal size, that is no longer a cell, but a capacitor. Am I making sense? Now, this is a resistor. You can have the symbol of resistor to be like what you are seeing here, and at times it can be like this. And at times you can have it like this. So when you have this one is called a variable resistor. Are you getting this now? It is a variable resistor. And when you talk about a variable resistor, it can be a resistance box or a rheostat, either of the two. Are you getting it now? So those are the symbol for resistance. And when you see this guy here, this is what? This is ammeter, and this is what? Key. If they don't want to use this symbol for key, they can also use something like this to represent what? A key. Am I making sense now? Okay? If that should be the case, this is what? A jockey. Are you getting this now? It is a jockey. So let me quickly show you all of those things so that we can go on with the question. So this is potentiometer. You can differentiate it now from what? Meter bridge or Wheatstone bridge. Then this is ammeter, the one that has A. You know, ammeter, galvanometer, voltmeter, they look the same. But once you see A, it stands for what? Ammeter. Then this is what? Key. I'll tell you the reason why you have all these wires on it now. This is what? Key. Can you see it now? So if you open it like this, that means you off it. When you put it like this, that means that what? You on it. Are you getting it now? So let's have it here like this. Then we have what? Resistor. Your resistors can come in this form or it can come in this form. Permit me to take another one. So your resistor can be something like this. Can you see this now? It can be something like this or something like this. Whichever one they provide you with is still the same thing. Is that taken now? Fine. And this is your jockey. Can you see now? I believe you are now familiar with the whole of the apparatus right now. Okay, that should be the case. What's the next thing you want to do? As a student that actually want to carry out this experiment successfully, after you are being provided with all of these things, by default, you meet it in the lab. Your what's it called? Teacher would have set up the lab for you by providing you all of this. So the first thing I expect you to do, before even checking the question at all, is to attach the connecting wire to the terminal of what? Each apparatus. Are you getting it now? And how do you do that? It's very, very simple. Just what? Make sure that you cut the mouth of your connecting wire, just like the one you are seeing here. And what? Attach it to each terminal. Make sure it's firm. So the terminal of jockey is this one, so you can lose it. So when you open it like this, you wound this particular wire around it, then you lock it back. Make sure it is well tightened. So when you do that, you pick your what? Your key. Your key has two terminals. Do the same thing. You can also open this one and lock it after you wound the wire around it. So keep it aside also. Then you pick your what? Resistor. Your resistor also have what? Two terminals. Make sure you connect the wire to the two terminals. Then you have it aside. Then pick your ammeter. Make sure you connect wire to the two also, to the two terminals also. Then you drop it. Then your potentiometer. Now this is where the issue comes, and that's why I'm using this particular one as what's it called? As the one we have to use. If you look at the other one I show you, that one just has what? Two terminals. It's so direct. But what about this one that has multiple terminals? Just check out for the terminal that is closer to this meter room. Can you see? Don't mind me. I'm using tripod. There's nobody here that can zoom what? The camera closer to me. So, but just listen to my explanation and follow me step by step. Is that taken now? So, you look at the terminal that is closer to the meter room. On the meter room, there is a wire that looks like a string. Are you getting it now? That is what we refer to as Constantine wire. And that is the wire that determines the resistance of the potentiometer. Am I making sense, guys? If yes, so the terminal that is closer to that ruler, that is where you are going to attach your connecting wire to. Then you check the other one also, which is this one. Also the terminal closer to the what? To the ruler. Am I making sense? So after done that, after you connect wire to the whole of the terminal, the next thing you want to do is to go straight to the question. And before you start reading the question, take note of the diagram. Are you seeing the diagram with me? Cool. So let's start reading the question now. The question says, set up the circuit as shown in the diagram above. That is the first thing. Set up the circuits as shown in the diagram above. So let's quickly look into that. How do we do that? Just make sure you take your potentiometer. Can you see? Can you see the potentiometer? Please let me check if the potentiometer is clear. Hold on. Okay, I think we can see the potentiometer. So let me just bend the camera a bit. Okay, so that we can see it clearly. Okay. Sorry, please. Okay, I think we should be able to see it clearly now. Okay, please, let's see. So that we can just use this to connect the circuits. So let's see it clearly. Please, the person that is assisting me in doing this will be leaving soon now. So guys, pay maximum attention right now. So look at this diagram. Can you see the diagram on the board? Can you see the diagram? Watch. This is the ruler side of the potentiometer. So let it be facing forward. Let it face forward. Are you getting this now? So like you have it here right now. So you have this. By the time you look at it now, we have what is it called? We have the battery. That is one terminal of the potentiometer is what is connected to the positive side of the battery. So let's say this is the terminal. Make sure you connect the 2 points of the potentiometer together like this. So connect the 2 potentiometer, that is the 2 terminal of potentiometer, it connects it together just like this. So you know they've become one like this. Are you seeing it? So this will become the positive side of the battery. So this is my battery. So here is my battery. So the positive side of the battery is the top side of the battery. Are you getting this now? So this one is going to this place. Are you getting this now? Because each battery is 1.5 volts. So we are done with that. What's the next thing? Then the negative pole of the battery is connected to the what? It's now connected to the 2 ohms resistor. So you pick your 2 ohm resistor. Mind you, your resistor does not have positive or negative pole. So you connect this resistor to your what? To your ammeter. You know, this particular one is going to the negative pole of the battery. Can you see? While this one is going to the positive pole of the ammeter. Are you following? So this one is going to the positive pole of the ammeter, just like this. So I believe we are following. So then what's the next one? Then the negative pole of the ammeter going to the key. So this is the negative pole of the ammeter and it's going to where? To the key. So this is the key here. So we connect the negative pole of the ammeter to the key. So we have this. I believe you are following the setup now. So you can see the way I'm interpreting the diagram. Then the other pole of the key, which is this other side of the key, I guess that is the positive pole of the key now, will now go straight to the jockey. This is the jockey. So this one will go straight to the jockey, just like this. Can you see this now? And the jockey will come down to these wires that you have on the potentiometer. So you can see the setup now. Look at the diagram again. Look at the diagram again. Let's look at the diagram again. The positive pole of the battery is connected to the terminal of the potentiometer. The 2 terminals will be brought together just like I did. Can you see? This is terminal A. Terminal B, they come together, I join them together and they will be coming to the positive pole of the battery. Are you seeing it now? Then the negative pole of the battery is connected to what? One terminal of the resistor. Are you getting this now? While the positive side of the resistor is connected to the positive side of what? The ammeter, just like it is in the diagram. Then the negative side of the ammeter is connected to one side of the key. Then one side of the key is connected to the jockey. Are you getting this now? and we are done with the setup. So if you look at the setup, you can see the way it is, just exactly like what we have in the diagram. Can you see? So here is battery, resistor, ammeter, and then the key, then potentiometer. So come at your diagram, you get to see it. Potentiometer, battery, resistor, ammeter, and what? Key. You've successfully do what? You have successfully set up the circuits as shown in the diagram. Now, what do you now need to do? So the first thing you want to do first is to know if your setup is correct or not. So place the positive pole, which is this one, place it on your battery. Then this negative pole that you have, you place it on it like this. So can you see what we have right now? So the next thing you want to do is to pick your jockey. When you pick your jockey, just use this to what? To move around the wire. Are you getting it now? So when you use this to move around the wire, you can see if the ammeter is deflecting to the right side. This one is not deflecting yet, so let's make sure that the connection is well okay. So please make sure you use sellotape to wound your battery so that it will be more convenient for you. So when you do this, so you just use this now to check. So if you look at it now, can you see the ammeter is deflecting? So you check. So if you look at it, it's deflecting to the wrong side. Are you getting it now? And that means that there is mistake somewhere. So you change the terminal of the battery. The one that is below before, you take it to the above, and the one that is above before, you take it to the below. So you check again. So can you see? Can you see the deflection now? So it's deflecting to the appropriate side now. Can you see? So once you are using this to wound that particular iron on the ruler, so the value tends to start moving. So since it starts moving now, as you move from one point to another, then you can start your experiment. Can you see? Can you see the way it's deflecting now? So your setup is okay. Cool. So what's the next thing to do? The next thing to do is now to go straight to the instruction. So permit me to release the person that holds the camera now, so because it's going. So let's go on. You can drop it now so you can go from class. It's okay now. Okay guys, so let's move on now. Have you seen the way the setup goes now, and you see the way the ammeter deflects? So let's quickly go on and take our reading and also tabulate it also. So guys, let's look up now. So what's that? Okay, we have connected the circuits as shown in the diagram above, isn't it? So the next question now says what? Close the key. What does it mean to close the key? You know, I told you earlier that when you open the key like this, you already off it, that you switch it off. When you put the key back, you've on it. Are you getting it now? You've put it on. So they say close the key. It means switch the circuits on. When you switch the circuits on, what's the next thing to do? The next thing now says what? Use the jockey to make contact with the potential wire. Are you getting this now? So we are going to use the key to make contact with the potential wire such that the length L is what? 10 centimeters. So you go and check on the potentiometer where we have what? 10 centimeters. So what you just need to do is to drop. I'm not sure if this thing is showing. Sorry, I'm having issue with my setup. Oh, it's not even showing at all. Okay guys, I think it's okay now. Yeah. Okay, I think it's better like this. Sorry for all of this. Okay guys. Yeah. I think you're not going to see my face again, but you're going to be seeing what I'm doing, absolutely. So now watch. So the question said we should do what? We should place our jockey on 10 centimeter mark. So what you just need to do first is that make sure you connect your battery. You know, the battery will automatically be connected. That is, you use your sellotape to move this round because it's not available here. That's why I'm not using it. So now I'm using my hand. And since the key is already closed now, so pick your potentiometer, sorry, your jockey, 10 centimeter. So you drag on this thing to the point where you see 10 centimeter because it is what? Because it's a ruler. So 10 centimeter mark is already there. So once you place it there, you check what your reading is. So what I'm having here right now is 0.5, 0.55. So the ammeter reads 0.55 when the jockey is on what? 10 centimeter. So what we are supposed to do? Read the ammeter reading I, evaluate I inverse. So when the L is 10 centimeter, then the ammeter reading, which is the current I, is 0.55 ampere. Are you seeing this now? So I inverse, we can do that with calculator later. Are you getting this now? So what's the next thing? The next thing now says repeat the experiment for L equal 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 respectively. Now, you've seen the way I use my jockey to make contact for 10 centimeter, and you can see the value. Abi? So we'll pick the value on the ammeter. Are you getting this now? So the next thing we want to do right now is to take the jockey to touch what? 20 centimeter and see what the reading is going to be. So we connect again. Remember, you'll be provided with a tape in your school, so you don't have any issue with what I'm doing right now. Like as I'm exchanging it now, you will not have such issue. So check for 20 centimeter here. Drag your jockey on it. So once it's on 20 centimeter, you check what the reading is. Okay, sorry, my connection is wrong. So that's the disadvantage of not using the masking tape. Assuming the masking tape is here now, everything will have just been well clipped. Okay. So on 20 centimeter, you have 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. So we write down when the length is 20 centimeter, current I is 0.5 ampere. Then we are going to check I inverse later. Now, guys, before I keep on to pick other readings, what's the next question after we have repeated the experiment for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, respectively? Let's say in each cases, we determine the value of I and I inverse, then we tabulate our reading. So, here is where we come now. Let's tabulate our readings. And you need to pay maximum attention to this tabulation of a thing because remember I told you when we are doing mechanics, I told you that this is where your mark lies. That is, you have highest mark with your table of reading. And that's why you need to take it very, very serious. Your examiner is not going back to the lab to carry out the experiment like we are doing now. Your examiner will follow your table. And that's why your table needs to be detailed. In terms of number of decimal places, in terms of what, you not cancelling or shading. You should not paint, you should not cancel. Make sure your table is as neat as possible. So, what you just need to do right now is this. How do I get what will be my table? Remember, serial number, the numbers of time you did the experiment. We'll first of all start with 10, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60. It means we did the experiment how many times? 6 times. So, we are going to have our serial number to range from 1 to 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's not going to be in any decimal places. So, what's the thing given to us in the question? The length, which is what? L in centimeter. Remember, I told you that if what you are given in the question is like in gram or kilogram or something, it should be in 1, or Newton, it should be in 1 decimal places. But if it is in centimeter, if what you are given in the question is in centimeter, please and please write it in 2 decimal places. Because you don't report centimeter in 1 decimal place. You can only report millimeter in 1 decimal place. Is that taken out? So we are having 10 centimeters, so it's going to become 10.00. You can see my own unit is not inside this column because there are some students that their unit is always in this column, it is wrong. Your unit should be above. So what you are having here, length in centimeter, already covered everything that will be underneath. So the next one is 20.00. The next one is what? 30.00. The next one is 40.00, 50.00, and 60.00. So what's the next thing to determine? Current, I. That will be in what? Ampere. Are you getting this now? Now, this one should also be in 2 decimal places because you are using a measuring instrument to determine that value. So you put it in what? 2 decimal places. Remember, guys, when we do 10 centimeter, our value is what? Is 0.55. Are you seeing this now? And when we do 20 centimeter, our value is what? Is 0.5. So we put it as what? 0.50. We are going to continue with other ones now, but let's get this one also, which is what? I inverse. I inverse is going to be in what? Ampere inverse. Are you getting this now? 1 over I. I inverse is the same thing as saying what? 1 over I. And that will be what? Ampere inverse. So how do you get that? You get that with your calculator. This is 0.55. You say 1 divided by 0.55. Your result is what? 1.818. Remember, I told you, this particular table that you are getting with your calculator should be in 3 decimal places or 4 significant figure. 3 decimal places or 4 significant figure. This is 4 significant figure now. Are you getting this now? So if you look at the Mechanics video, we also have our results to be what? 4 significant figure. Am I making sense now? So let's move on now. 1 divided by 0.5. That will give us 2. Abi? So we'll put it as 2.000. Are you seeing it now? 2.000. Now this is significant because of this decimal. Are you getting it now? So this is also what? 4 significant figure. We are not here to teach mathematics, so don't let us go much into detail. So let me quickly determine the value for 30, 40, and 50. So we just go by the same procedure. The same way, we pick our jockey, then check on 30. Drag it on 30, 30. So here we have 0.46. 0.46. 0.46. 0.46. So let's check for 40. So we'll do the same thing to check for 40. So make sure you drag from beginning because this thing is funny. 0.40. So this on 40 now. Let me check once again. So we have 0.39. 0.39. 0.39. So please make sure you take your reading. Don't make a mistake because the difference between 1 and 2 is 0.5. Don't think that will also be the same thing as every other one. Are you getting it? Like you see, this one is not 0.5 now. So likewise, so be careful of your manipulation. Is that taken now? Okay? I know you are expecting me to make a video on how you can manipulate your reading. No problem. If you need that, you can let me know in the comment section. Is that taken? So the next one is what? Is 0.5. Is 0. 5.0. That is 50. We are going for 50 now, right? So we are going for 50 right now. So you drag again, just exactly like what we do before. We go to 50. Okay, and that is giving us 0.35. 0.35. 0.35. So the last but not the least, that's 60. So you take it to 60. Drag from beginning. down to 60. Check it again, it's not moving. I think the battery is running down already. Alright, so we have 0.33. So 0.33. So can you see this now? So let's get the value for their inverse. So 1 divided by 0.46, that gives us 2.174. 1 divided by 3.1 divided by 0.39, 2.564. 1 divided by 0.35, 2.857. 1 divided by 0.33, that's 3.030. So we are done with the whole of the reading now. You can see our table very neat. So your table should be very, very neat. Because once you shade, anything that makes you to shade on your table, that is minus, I think it's minus 5 marks if I'm not mistaken. So minus 2 or minus 5, but I think it's minus 5, I'm sure. Okay guys, so what's the next question? After you finish your what? Your table, the next thing is to what? To plot a graph. And we are asked to plot a graph of L on the vertical axis from the origin 0, 0, Abi? And what on the horizontal axis? Wow, the question is not complete. Okay, I know. If you are plotting L on the vertical axis, then you'll be plotting I inverse on the horizontal axis. So please correct that. Plot the graph of what? L on the vertical axis and what? I inverse on the horizontal axis. Then, of course, as stated, all precaution based on electricity in the previous video, and as stated precaution on mechanics also in that video. So do well to watch it if you need precaution for all of this. And for the graph, I'm not also going to plot the graph, just like I don't do that for the mechanics. You can check the description comment. I drop a link that teach you how to plot graph in detail. Watch it and do what, and carry out the plotting of this graph. But if you are still finding it difficult, just let me know in the description in the comment section that you want me to make video on the graph of all these readings. Then we'll definitely do that. Am I making sense now? And if there is any problem you are still having regarding this particular experiment, you can just let me know in the comment section. I will respond to you as soon as possible. Then you can also get my phone number on the screen. Then you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I will definitely be response to your questions. Thank you. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. As soon as I drop video, you will be notified. Watch out for the question number 2. Thank you.